Good morning and welcome to the Phightins Final here on the Edge of Philly Sports Network with your boy Matty B. Here live and direct in studio. The new digs finally I get an opportunity to come in, and it's long overdue, and I'm glad to be here. Joining me in studio producing today, Big Al. Um, Al, good morning, and obviously we've already spoken about this, but awesome new studio. Thank you for finally allowing me to grace studio with my presence.
Yeah, well, thank you for gracing L Studio with the presence. But I wish it was a little bit of a better morning after last night's debacle. But yes, I guess we'll get into that in a moment.
Yeah, it absolutely. And for those of you who are waiting all night for the Fightins final, I apologize. I should have probably advertised that this was going to happen, but you know what? Deal with it. All right,
Yeah.
and that's just going to kind of. If your life is, I mean, listen, I'm not going to downplay it. If your life centers around me, great, keep doing it. But reach out to me directly next time if you don't see my show, and I'll let you know what's going on. But I do apologize. I'll do better. For those of you, if you can see that on the bottom of your screen, we're going to try something today. We feel that we're getting to a point with this team, the Phillies, that is, that maybe you guys want to talk to me directly about what your concerns are with this baseball club. And I would greatly appreciate to hear from you. So call in now at 484-257-9592, and I will take your calls and we can talk about this and we can get things out in the open and maybe come to a better understanding about maybe what this baseball team is, because I don't know what it is. Maybe you can help me understand what's going on with this team. Last night, 7-2 against the Mets, in another lifeless offensive performance. You want to blame Aaron Nola for not pitching well, and you want to get concerned about the September swoon coming up for Aaron Nola. That's fine, but we cannot not look at the offense and start getting concerned about their inability to do anything other than hit home runs. And Alan, I guess that's the first question I want to ask you is, what's more troublesome for you right now? Is it Aaron Nola or is it the offense? The way
Oh,
this team's
it's
playing.
the offense. I mean, without a doubt. I mean, uh, if Aaron Nola does what everybody kind of assumes he's going to do, you know, we kind of when you're prepared for it, it's not as bad, I guess, in some ways. But that affects me one every 5 games.
Yeah.
Bad offense affects me every game. And that's the problem. Like I'm watching a team, even the first game against the Reds was too close for my comfort. The last game against the Reds was unnecessarily boring. Like there's no reason you shouldn't score one run against the Reds. They are a bad, bad team. They are up there with the Pirates as a bad team. Right behind the Marlins in some ways as a bad team. I'm not saying you should sweep series every time, but that was a series you should have swept. And they're a bad team. They're a bad. Their offense is very hot and cold. I mean, you put up 13 runs, I guess was the other was against the Reds the one night, and then and coming back to look at this the last Mets series and this series, is it more the Mets? I said to you before we went on the air. I said there was these check boxes that I'm trying to have the Phillies hit, and if they hit those check boxes, they're getting better. Well, they're hitting check boxes, but just not all of them. And the one big one right now is, everybody's. I heard people pounding their chest saying, "Oh, the Phillies could be, um, they could be, the best team. Or they could beat anybody." Well, Mets are proving them otherwise that they can't beat anybody.
Yeah, and with the loss last night, the Phillies now fall to 11 games out of first place, and they fall overall to the Mets 4-12 on the season. And if you do the math, you can obviously see the separation between the Phillies in first place in the NL East, and it's the Mets. I mean, straight up head-to-head performance. It's just not been well. It's not been good. Now, listen, you don't win nothing in the regular season. I understand that, and we have a whole bunch of baseball to play, and we've seen this before in all different types of sports where teams have been dominated by another team, and then when the playoffs begin, it's a flip script. But when you look at this thing holistically, and I'm not backing off of my prediction of this team winning the division, I still think the Phillies can win the NL East, but each Met loss I'm kind
Does it
of
sting more because it's the Mets?
yeah, it does.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
yeah. I mean, does
absolutely.
it feel like? I mean, I guess because if you beat the Reds, you win a half. You move
Yeah,
up a half game if other teams lose. But if you beat the Mets, it's a one. You're moving up no matter what. And I think it's more just. It's not even just moving up in the standings for me. It's more of the the pride.
Well, think about it, Al. It's like
Yeah.
playing the Cowboys 15 times a season and losing 12 times. I mean,
Yeah.
can you go through 12 Cowboy losses a
No.
year?
Oh
No,
God,
hell
no.
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 It's the Mets, totally.
Don't ever say that again.
No.
Just gulp.
Let's get that straight. It's straight up personal about the Mets. But and the injury factors. Brandon Marsh goes down. We end up signing some guy off the Toronto Blue Jays scrap heap in Zimmer,
Mm-hmm.
who I don't know if you've seen his stat line. Guy's got like 8 hits this year, and 5 of them are extra base hits, and he's got like
He had one
80
last night.
played. Yeah, he did. So
Gave a little hope
a little
to
hope.
the fan base, to the people down there, to watch that '90s concert afterwards or whatever was going on.
Yeah, well, they're gonna remember the '90s, because I don't know if you want to remember. Obviously, you don't want to remember the baseball performance last night. Now, Al, today or last night, Kyle Schwarber did return to the lineup. Not really provided much of a spark there. Bryce Harper will probably start his rehab assignment this week and potentially be back with the team next weekend. So help is on the way, or is it on the way, Al? What do you think long term for this offense? Is the return of Schwarber, the return of Harper, is it really going to kickstart a team that's potentially all season long with Harper and Schwarber just not been very consistent?
Schwarber, I mean, he could be hot and he could be cold. So I don't know. I mean, hopefully he brings. Yeah, hopefully he could bring some energy back. The only thing I worry about with Bryce is a little rust. But I think having Bryce back on the bench and in the lineup will put a little fear of God into the pitchers and the defense across from him, and also put a little pizzazz in this team that maybe I feel like they gotten a little complacent.
Yeah.
After, I mean, they've walloped some teams. I mean,
Right.
and listen, bad teams, the Nats, the Reds,
But they're doing
the
what you're supposed
Pirates,
to do.
but they're doing. Yeah, we always say that you're doing what you're supposed to, but does when you beat teams this bad, you just assume you're going to be able to beat the Mets, or you're going to beat the Braves or the Dodgers or any other team that's in contention at this point.
Yeah, and we do hold a tiebreaker against everybody in the NL East or the NL, with the exception of the Mets and right now the Braves, because we're tied with the Braves in our season series. But we do hold the tiebreakers with the Padres, the Dodgers, the Brewers, the Cardinals, and that is something to be lauded. I mean, the Phillies did their job against those teams, but it's the stinking Mets, because I hate to say this, but the pathway to the World Series might go through Queens. I mean,
Yeah.
I really do. That they are a good ball club. I think
mean,
they're better than the Dodgers.
Who's the best team in the National League right now?
It's got to be the Mets.
I mean, the record says so.
Yeah.
And the way they're playing, I mean, like you said, like they could lose 5 games in a row and still not put a dent in their lead.
Yeah.
So
and so to accept the reality that we're going to have, if we're going to get to the World Series, it's going to be the Mets. We're going to have to figure out how to beat the Mets. And today, a huge doubleheader.
Mm-hmm.
In very warm conditions.
I was going to say, is a doubleheader at home an advantage for the home team in any which way, or not really?
I guess it can be. I don't know.
I guess that break in between.
I mean, last night, 40-some thousand people at the bank didn't really do much to the offense. So I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be an advantage or not. And it's going to be over 100 degrees on the field today. I don't know. But let's talk about that doubleheader. We got Zach Wheeler and Bailey Falter starting in game 1 and game 2 for the Phillies.
Oh, you have your yin to your yang, huh?
What is going on? Of course, this big story about the start of the pitching rotation, and this is something that I was looking at from weeks out, was the potential of having Noah Syndergaard pitch at home against the Mets. And that was one of the reasons why I advocated and was okay for the price we paid to get Noah Syndergaard, was to have him pitch against the Mets. And we talked about this, the X factor that he has against the New York Mets. But now he has been moved to start on Monday against, I believe, the Reds. He's not even going to pitch in the series.
Why?
That's a great question, because earlier in the season, when he was still an Angel, he was also in line to start against the Mets, but they moved his start away from the Mets.
Do you think he's afraid of getting shelled?
I don't know.
Not him so much, but they're afraid of how it will hurt his psyche.
I don't know. That's a great question.
Psychological thing? Like, I don't, trying to think, like, so if you're asking me anything, if that is the reason behind it, that's the dumbest, lamest reason.
And why is he here? why do we trade for him if we can't? I mean, the biggest selling point for me was him against the Mets.
I mean, I don't know. It's yeah. I mean, any selling point against any team, any pitcher you bring in here is against the Mets, especially starting pitching. I mean, you like you just said, you see these divisional teams that often in one year. Like at one point, your starting pitching rotation is going to see this team.
Yeah. I mean, are we going to sit him in October if we got to play him in the playoffs? I mean, what happens there? And really, is a bullpen game in this particular? Does this send a message to the fans of Philadelphia that the Phillies are not interested in the NL East by going with a bullpen game against?
Kind of. I mean, kind of. I don't know if they're trying to, but it is what the message I'm receiving as a fan, as an analyst, as somebody who's watching the game and breaking it down. The fact that you put Bailey Falter and you should, if you're going to do a bullpen game, you're going to do a bullpen game against the Reds.
Exactly. Or the Pirates that we got coming up in this homestand as well. Why are you doing it against the Mets? I'm just really interested to know.
Conceding?
I don't know.
Are they conceding like hopefully we'll get 500 on this homestand, or we'll just take one win or whatever? Like, are they conceding before the season? I'm sorry, the series even started.
And we're not even up against the Mets' top pitching competition in their rotation. Scherzer and DeGrom are not in this series.
Yeah.
So we have an opportunity to throw our best at the Mets not so best. But we're not taking that opportunity. What messages is that sending to the?
You would think put them against their greatest starter, and see if that's going to help build confidence. I think if you keep moving people out of rotations to dodge a team, you're hurting confidence more than them going out there and getting just shellacked.
And I could see it one time, like earlier in the season when he did it as an Angel. Okay, whatever. But now when you do it a second time, it's a little coincidental that I think there's something more to it. And now, and I want to know. I think we deserve the answer. And if you have the answer, 484-257-9592. Call in and give us the answer because we want to know. Is Noah Syndergaard
open the phone lines for you kiddos?
Yeah, the phone lines
Don't make me regret it. Don't make me regret it.
Is Noah Syndergaard afraid to pitch against the Mets? And I want to know the answer because right now, to me, I'm a little concerned that the answer might be yes.
I mean, the fact that they did it in with the Angels and now they're doing it here, is it him or is it them not feeling he's still 100% from his Tommy John surgery and they just
extra days off?
Yeah.
It just seems a little weird. Again, we brought him here for this straight situation.
Yeah.
And
like, when was the last time he pitched? He pitched
on Monday against the Reds.
So you're trying to give him 7 days off?
Yeah, so it would be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, off. Friday, Saturday. So today would be his actual scheduled day to start. So he's getting day 6 and going on day 7.
Well, why don't you just make him start tomorrow?
That's my point. But tomorrow's the Mets. What's going on with that? Because Kyle Gibson's starting tomorrow.
Oh, man, you got a conspiracy in my head now.
That's what I'm saying. You
damn it. Come on, Matty B. Now I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight.
And actually, it was the Mets play-by-play guy. What's Cohen, Jeff Cohen, Steve Cohen, whatever his name is. He was the first one to bring it to my attention earlier in the week that this was happening because I was keeping a little sticky note on my computer. And I was going because I was doing the same thing everybody else. Well, I don't know if everybody else is doing this, but I was going down to see what the potential rotation would be. And I honestly thought there'd be a bullpen game on Wednesday, that the Phillies would have done a bullpen game Wednesday against the Reds to set up this rotation. Actually, I was going to have Suarez pitch last night, Nola, Wheeler today, Syndergaard tomorrow. That's what I wanted them to do.
What a hell that would have been awesome.
That's what I thought they were going to do. But then they didn't do that.
So say they did that. Let's pretend. Let's play devil's advocate for a second. Say that's the way it goes down, and we lose this series, like 1-3. Does that hurt you? Like, does that take you down even bigger notches that your best can't go against their middle of the lineup or middle of the road stuff?
And again, I go back to that point. Was I looked at this series as an all or nothing type. If you're going to make a push for the National League East, it's this series right here. It's the 4 games that you have against these guys head to head. So why not throw your best at them? And we lost the game against the Reds anyway, 1-0. Why not? Bailey Falter I would have been a lot more comfortable with him starting that last game against the Reds. You had the day off on Thursday, And then you had Ranger Suarez last night against Chris Bassett.
You have a struggling team. You're bookending them between a Mets series, and you can't put the bullpen game against them.
Yeah.
Is that going for what they feel like is the, I won't say the sure win, but the more by doing this, there's a chance we're going to lose the Mets game, even if our starters start. So let's just put them against the Reds and get that W, and then just take our chances with the Mets and see if we can catch lightning in a bottle. Is that what the thought process is?
I don't know.
Man, I am going to be up all night with this one. I'm going to be like, it's going to be like that scene from Always Sunny where he couldn't figure out who Pepe Sanchez was.
I agree.
Like why? Like, I was so high. Like, I was one of the big guys clamoring for Syndergaard. I know you weren't in the beginning. Listen, is there somebody out there better than Syndergaard? Absolutely, but I'm just trying.
I'm okay with them.
No, but I'm just saying, like, when they were sitting there and they're trying to figure out, like, like, it's the deadline. What can we do? And I mean, how many fighting finals leading up to that have I been on? And we would sit there and go, do you go starting pitching? Do you go center field? Do you go to bat? Blah blah blah. All this stuff. And to applaud Dombrowski, he was able to touch all three for the most part, except for maybe the bad part. He was able to touch all three, up the defense. He upped the center field position. Unfortunately, Brandon Marsh is out with a sprained ankle and knee. And he upped the bullpen.
Yes, absolutely.
Bullpen, I mean, that's the biggest move, I think. The most underrated, but also the biggest move. And he got us another starting guy that we sorely needed.
Absolutely.
And he was able to do it all without selling the farm.
I disagree. Logan O'Hoppe is going to bite us on the ass. I guarantee it. I guarantee.
Here's my thing is I'll wait the 3 or 4 years to see if this bites me in the ass, because I remember a guy Six Toe that was going to we're going to be so sorry we let him
what
go.
happened to him? Is he Tommy John? Was that what happened to him?
Tommy, he got some sort of. I think he was. Yeah,
didn't pitch last year or this year.
Mm-mm. So, I mean,
no, I agree.
Listen, you gotta hope that sooner or later that one of these prospects pan out. But I mean, O'Hoppe, maybe we just thought more of him than he was.
I don't know. He's killing it in Double-A out there for the trash raccoons or something he plays for out there, the Double-A team.
Well,
in Alabama.
Our other guy that we, our number 1 overall pick that we were trying, who's out the Angels now.
He was killing it too. He broke his finger like game 4.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is he did that in spring training with us, and then he came back and he sucked. But he was also a guy that he was bats 132 here in the majors, and then he goes bats a 332 in.
Listen, I agree. And what we needed at the major league level was acceptable for what we gave up at the prospect level at this time. And you're right. I think it was the right moves to make. But when we're sitting here in a doubleheader in mid to late August, the NL East is slipping away, and we have an opportunity to throw 2 of the 3 trade pieces at the Mets, but we don't take it. Why? What's the reasoning?
If I had that answer.
I think it's a question that needs to be answered, and I think someone down there in South Philly needs to answer it, because today's huge. Today
I did not listen to any of the post game from the Phillies, like any of the questions to Thompson or the players. I guess it would be more to Rob Thompson. I'm actually going to listen to the radio.
What I understand, he said it's for nothing to do with the Mets. It's because of the healing process that he's dealing with.
And how far off is Tommy John surgery is he at this point?
This is his first year.
Okay.
Year. It'd be year 2.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You get the surgery, then you're off a year, and then you're back.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, year 2. This is his first year throwing since the surgery.
I get it, but how much time was between his last 2 starts? That's what I have to look up.
Well, today, he started Monday.
No. I'm talking about the start before this last start he had and the one before that. How much time went by?
5 days each.
Yet now
he's taking a 6th.
Like, you gotta understand that's very
coincidental.
Yeah, just purely coincidental. Like, here's my thing: is if I'm the Phillies, if I'm Dombrowski, all right, let's
why did we bring him here? if he's not going to play against the Mets?
Well, here's my thing. Is like
we bring him here against the Pirates?
let's pretend this is true for just a second. All right, let's play devil's advocate for a second. Let's pretend that this is why that's the reason they're doing this. Why is why all suddenly can he not? Is he having issues and they don't want to say out loud? Like he just needs a little extra rest in between. Why do you not, as an organization, go out in front of this and say, "Listen, guys, X, Y, and Z. This is why we're doing this. This is why we have to start. I know it looks bad. We're going up against the Mets. I know you want Syndergaard to go up against the Mets, but unfortunately, between his last couple starts, he noticed some soreness, and it would throw him off in the beginning of the start. We're hoping that maybe giving him an extra day or two of rest in between will allow us to see a better product from him from the get in his next start. At least you may not believe it, but you got out in front of it, and you have to take it for what it is. The fact that you're leaving this ambiguity and it has to be asked by a reporter or somebody out in the media or us who are sitting here talking about it right now, that tends to make me go, okay, well, now I don't 100% believe you when you say that. Yeah. Not that I would 100% believe you if you did it the way I said it, but at least I would have a little bit more credence because at least you put some thought into that.
And the optics of the fact that the last time he had the opportunity to start against them as an Angel, they gave him an extra day off as well. So it's just very optically not doesn't really add up to me.
No.
And as as we said, we went out and we paid, in my opinion, we paid a very steep price. And Syndergaard right now is a rental player. He's a 1-year guy. Now I would like for them to re-sign him. I would actually go forward. I would like Syndergaard here more than I would like Kyle Gibson to come back. Honestly, I would be okay with the rotation next year of Wheeler, Nola, Eflin, Syndergaard, and Suarez.
Well, no, Eflin, right? Eflin's the one who's out, right?
Eflin's next year. I mean, Eflin's still under control. Kyle Gibson will be a free agent next year.
Okay,
and so
next year. Okay, I mean, how about Eflin? How do you feel about Eflin, though?
That's a good point too.
I honestly would follow. I would rather re-sign Kyle because I've seen more from him and more stability from him, and get rid of Zach Eflin because I do like Zach Eflin, and when Zach is healthy, he's hot.
The problem, though. Healthy.
Unless he takes some sort of great team, deal that you can keep him on the rotation. Because, right now, if Syndergaard is healthy, and how that second year, full year back, he should be, for all intents and purposes, by next year, good to go.
All the way. No restrictions, no limitations.
And then it'd be scary to see him. And if you can sign him now and get him locked up, maybe. How old is Syndergaard now?
29.
So you can lock up. Say would you give him a 3-year deal?
I give it to you.
I give him a 3. It depends on what the price is. Like I know in baseball everything's a little different, but what is he getting paid right now? Like 15?
Yeah, I gotta look it up. I'm not sure, but I think that obviously I give him more than a 1-year deal. I give him a 2-year deal. I think that that would be acceptable. I wonder why he didn't sign, or was it the Angels that went sign up more than 1 year? They weren't. Maybe I guess it was a prove it deal for him out there this year, coming off the injury. I don't know, but yeah, I think he's earned it. I would give him a 2-year deal. I like. Listen, he's done it before, and he's obviously not the same pitcher as he was in 2015, but he's still way above average.
He was making between this year $21 million.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. What was his face from Chicago? I hated him so much I forgot his name.
Oh, Arrieta.
Like oh my god, his name stoked anger inside me. I forgot his name on purpose. Like I forget him. Yeah.
So now we do have Segura's contract coming off the books next year, but we also need to add a shortstop. We got
do we? And we all know who they're talking about.
Of course, Trey Turner.
I'd take him in a heartbeat.
Oh God,
in a heartbeat.
So you
got your leadoff. You got your leadoff. You got a consistent bat. You got your leadoff hitter, and I want to know what he's making too.
So that's the thing. What do we do with Trey Turner? Because obviously, can we afford Trey Turner at a huge? That's going to be like a 5 to 7 year deal. He's going to want something.
He's making the same thing as Syndergaard this year. He took a 1-year, $21 million.
He's going to want to get paid.
Yeah, but all right. So, what do you pay? Let's see. How old is he now? 29. He's 29 years old. So by the time next year rolls around, he'll be 30. So 5 years, $25 million. Do you do it?
Who, for Syndergaard?
No, Trey Turner.
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
5 years, 25 million. I don't think he's going to
for a
accept that.
30-year-old.
But he's not going to take. He's going to want more. But I would do that. I'd do it right.
Yeah.
And don't forget, for Syndergaard and Gibson, and all intents and purposes, all you got to do is try to get another 2 years, and then we got Painter and Abel that are going to be showing up here. So we just got to lock down the next 2 years on the rotation.
I don't know. Could you see one of those guys moving up next year?
No. Now they'll both finish in Double-A. They'll both start Double-A next year. No.
Maybe the end of the season.
Maybe September.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
I mean, they're moving them up fairly quickly in the minors.
Yeah, but once you get to Double-A, it becomes more of a because the development is the Class A stuff. Now at Double-A, you have it, because you're going to be getting more major league talent at you, and then obviously Triple-A. So Double-A and Triple-A, there's not really a timeline. It's developing at your own speed.
Yeah,
I say 2 years for both. 25, 24.
Okay. All right. I mean, here's my thing: is like, yeah, I mean, Nola, he's got another. They extended him, right?
Yeah, he's on. He's got 4 years left.
Okay. And then Wheeler's got
2 left.
Wheeler contract. Let's see. He signed a 5-year, $41 million contract. Oh wait, the wrong Wheeler. I was going to say that can't be right. Zach Wheeler. Here you go. I was going to say $41 million. Doesn't make sense. 5-year, $118 million. He is a free agent in 2025.
So at the end of 25, so 23. So we have 3 more years.
You got him 2 more years.
So he's a free agent through.
He's free agent in 2025. So yeah, so he's got 2023 and 2024 left on his on his contract.
So 2 more years under him.
Yeah,
Eflin's under team control for another 2 or 3 years. He's still original.
Aaron Nola, let's give you an idea here.
And he's got 3 years left.
Who? No. He's got next year.
That's it? He's a free agent at the end of 23?
Mm-hmm.
Or 22? No, 23.
It's a club option for $16 million next year for him, which I'd imagine for that price they pick him up.
I did not. So it's a club option for $16 million to lock him up for 23.
Yes.
That's gonna.
And he will be 31 going on that time. At that point.
So
I'm telling you, man.
I didn't realize that. I thought he had 2 more years left.
Yeah, no. Hold on a second.
So do you invest the money in Nola for 1 more year, or do you invest the money in Trey Turner for 5 more years? I mean, or can you do both? I mean, are we at that point where the hell with Flax?
Here's my thing: is you kind of said it yourself. Here we go. We got our first one. Keith Hernandez loves the Phillies fanatic. Yeah, that was actually kind of funny last night. I was laughing. Yeah. I mean, listen. No matter how good the Phillies or the Mets are playing, when you say something like that, you don't think you're going to get, you're going to get any repercussions from it from the fanatic. I mean, ask Tommy Lasorda how that played out.
Yeah.
But hey, and if you want to talk about it, 484-257-9592 is the number.
Lines are wide open.
Yep. So I'll leave them.
Operators are standing by.
Yeah. That's me. But my point is, if you kind of answer that question, so you got him for 1 more year. So say, for instance, he has this plummet again in September, and you have him next year. You bring him on for 16. Having a guy who could be a borderline ace on any other team, or a solid 2 for $16 million in this world, I take that in a heartbeat. And if you extend them, I don't see them going, all right, we're going to offer you $40 million a year. You're not getting a Zach Wheeler type contract. You're going to get $16 to $20 million.
Right.
Because then you get that. And then it just depends on, like, give me another give me a high-end shortstop out there.
High-end shortstop out there right now?
Yeah, I want to see what they're making.
Fernando Tatis Jr.
Well, he's making $0.
No, yes. The next 80 or 75 games.
Let's see. Let's see what his contract was. 14 years, 340 million.
That's high end.
But he's making. Oh man, this contract's just sickening. It's funny because he's only making base salary was $5 million this year. Next year was $7 million. Following year, 11 million. Then it's 20, 20, 25, 25, 36, 36, and it's 36 all the way through until 30, 34. Or 20, 34, 33. He's making 36 million from 2029. So he's making for about 5 years. And then he's making 25 million. So, all right, let me ask you this question. All right. So Fernando Tatis is also 23 years old. All right. So you locked him up. You have a guy who's 30 years old. Let's give me another one. Maybe he's a little bit closer in age that we can think of. Who is?
Let's see, Brandon Crawford.
Brandon. Because I just want to see what the going rate is. I mean, Fernando Tatis is making $25 million for a few years. So to me, in my eyes, he's not Fernando Tatis.
Yeah.
And he's making that for a good portion of his contract. I don't see it doesn't make sense to me. But so Brandon Crawford, he has 2 years left on his contract this year, next year. He's making $16 million. He's making less than he is now. So do you go to Trey Turner, offer him $25 million for 5 years? I guess 4 years, 5 years if you can. 4 years with a club option.
4 years with a club option.
4 years with a club option.
Or a player option.
Or with a club option because they're going to take you if they're not. I mean, he's much older too. He's 35 years old.
Yeah, this is it. This is going to be the last hurrah for Trey Turner. This contract coming up.
So he's 30 years old. You have to. I'm guessing you're doing minimum 5 years.
And I think he's also going to be very selective of where he goes because he knows it's the last chance he has for another ring. So it'll probably be the right situation, which I think this would be for him. I would definitely be down for that. Carlos Carrera, nah. I don't know. I just like the combination of I like the Harper Turner connection. I like that Nationals thing. I want Trey Turner because, as you said, he fits the need for our leadoff. He's proven.
Well, Carlos Carrera is not an option.
He's not going to be a free agent this year.
Well, hold on. Is this a? Oh, it's a player's option next year. I'm sorry, because I had him for $35 million for this year and next year. His players' options are next year and the following year. So if he's making $35 million with the Twins, unless he's just trying to go to more of a competing team, you're going to have to pay him more than $35 million. So now you're going to have to pay Carlos Carrera $40-ish million. I mean, it's a player's option, but it's still an option. He can still play there.
He'll also be our leadoff guy. My point is this, Al. This team, we've identified that this team is not complete when it comes to offense. This team is a bunch of DHs. A bunch of DHs. We don't have a fundamentally sound baseball team when it comes to a lineup. Are we going to invest money into keeping Aaron Nola around or bringing back Noah Syndergaard? Or are we going to invest money in trying to make this lineup more complete by bringing in a Trey Turner type player?
I think you can do both if you do it right.
We do both.
Here and now, this is not giving you some pipe dream. Oh, he's going to take some team. He's going to do it for Bryce. I would think you can do this. So let's play devil's advocate for a second. You go to Noah Syndergaard right now in his guy. He's not pitching great. He's pitching okay. He's not going to command $40 million.
And he knows that. But he can command $20 million apparently.
Well, he commanded for a 1-year prove-it deal.
Yeah.
And did he prove it? He got traded.
Avoiding the Mets goes a long way by saying no. He has not proved it.
So, I mean, you try to get Syndergaard. If you don't lock him down, then you move on from him. That's how I look at Syndergaard at this point. If you can lock him down for a favorable deal, and when I say favorable,
you take it. I agree.
$20
million a year? $20 million for 1 year?
$20 million for 1 year?
1 year. Another prove it deal?
You got 16 with Noah. You got 40.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just trying to think. So you're going to put him in between Nola and Syndergaard? Nola and Wheeler, you think Syndergaard falls in from a price-wise somewhere in between?
It doesn't.
No.
That's going to tell the Zach Eflin song.
Yeah. Well, and Zach Eflin, I think he's gone. I really do think. I don't think he's back next year. I think his injury history has
move on from him.
Yeah, I think he's just not worth the headache to them. Trey Turner will be a Yankee. I mean, that's a very plausible statement, Daniel. Phillies need started pitching. I agree. When looking at it, do they need?
No, they don't.
No.
The rotation this season has been the only thing consistent about this team.
Yeah, I mean,
they've really done a great job. Really
I think you need to replace a 3 or 4 guy. I don't think you don't need $40 million plus dollars for starting pitching right now.
I need a Nola Syndergaard at a team friendly deal. That's all I need.
Yeah, you need Nola Syndergaard a team friendly deal, or somebody in that caliber. I'm okay with that.
A B level free agent.
30. All right. How about $30 million, 5 years
for Trey Turner?
For Trey Turner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, but I'm just trying to think, how does this play out? So so that means you're sticking with Brandon Marsh. And what does Brandon Marsh make? That's what I want to know.
Well, Brandon Marsh is under team control. He's under his original service contract.
Yeah, that's what I'm just trying to find out.
Well, he was a first round pick.
So Brandon Marsh is team control, arbitration. So he's in team control for the next 2 years,
and then arbitration
1, 2, and 3 for 2025, 2026, and 2027.
So he's under team control through 27, right?
Well, no, he's under team control for 2023 and 2024. It's arbitration time.
Yeah, but
from 25. Yeah.
He's not a free agent.
Yeah. So I mean, he's making $710,000.
Oh yeah, he'll give it his payday, but that's not coming for a while. I'm not really worried about.
In arbitration, you pay him like $2 million or $5 million. He's probably a happy.
And Yohan Rojas, the touted Phillies prospect, and also Crawford might supplant Brandon Marsh by then anyway. So I'm not worried about Brandon Marsh's payday at this particular moment in time. I'm worried about. I don't think we need to break the bank on starting pitching. I don't. I think we need to find a Noah Syndergaard esque type pitcher next year, or lock down the two we have. Lock down Kyle Gibson and Syndergaard right now.
Does getting Trey Turner next year lock down your
offense?
Your infield.
It locked down my infield and my offense.
Was Rhys Hoskins still a Philly next year?
Derek Hall is my starting first baseman next year.
What's Rhys Hoskins? He's his last year.
He's now I believe he's 1 more year on the team control. 1 more year of arbitration is 23. I believe we have UFA at the end of 23.
He's in arbitration 2023, UFA 23. Yeah, he's only making 7.7.
No, you got to move off. $7 million or no. If Dombrowski does not trade Rhys Hoskins this offseason, I'm going to have some serious heart.
I don't know. For that price, they might be willing to keep him.
I don't know. No, I can't. To me, it's not worth the April to June.
I have to see Derek Hall's defense before I.
That's why has he never played first base? Why haven't they given him? I mean, he is a first base.
Give Rhys Hoskins a day off, or give him not even a day off. Giving him
make somebody else a DH. Give Hoskins a DH opportunity, but they have not even played him at first. Are they afraid?
That's what I wonder.
So again, there's a lot of things coming out right now that are really concerning. Why is Noah Syndergaard not pitching against the Mets when he's scheduled to? Why is Derek Hall not giving an opportunity to play defense at all? And what again? Kyle Schwarber, the lineup card is out for today, for at least for game 1, and he's leading off. What is this insipid reasoning around Kyle Schwarber consistently leading off in this lineup?
Because he's done it. I mean, he's
done it ineffectively.
No, I'm saying he's done it in other.
Okay, Joey Sheeran was on your show a couple weeks ago saying that same thing, and I am so not that kind of guy. Well, if it's been done elsewhere, so we should do it here. It's not working here, Al.
I'm not saying it is, but I think he's your best option. Who do you put at leadoff then?
Why not give Stott was working out? It was starting to kind of click with him a little bit. Or Bohm.
I think they won't do that because they're up against the Mets. I think you kind of keep the secret sauce, leave the secret sauce alone, and then if you have a bad series against the Mets, then you put Stott in, let us see how he does against the Reds and the Pirates. That kind of stuff. The Braves locking up their young core scares me. Yeah, well, Ozuna should scare you behind the wheel at this point. Let's see. In my opinion, pitching depth because never know injuries happen. Mm-hmm. Look at the Mets. You never have enough starting pitching, or Dodgers will re-sign Trey Turner. Listen, Daniel, you're not wrong. There's probably going to be
Trey Turner doesn't want to stay in LA. He's coming back east. So
yeah, listen. If the Dodgers offer him an obscene amount of money, I'm sure he'll get over it. My point is, I think he's going to want to go a good team, a contending team, and if he has his druthers, it'll be East. So maybe the Yankees, and like, if I had to put it in order of possibility, it'd be Phillies and Yankees as 1A and 1B, and you can kind of flip flop either one. And you never have enough starting pitching. I agree, but you never have enough anything because injuries can happen at any position.
Look at the Phillies.
Yeah, look at Brandon Marsh. I mean, like, we had him for how long, and he went and did whatever.
Did you see that injury?
Yes, I'm like, what? Did Aaron Rowan just come back? Like, he was face first into a fence. But I mean, you don't make a bad point. Preach, Matt. Joe Sullivan is going. Here you go. Here's your boy, Surter. No excuses, Matty. You will not see Scherzer or
I have nothing for that. He's absolutely
or
right.
DeGrom.
Is that Jason DeGrom?
Yeah, Jason. You have to make a statement, and you'll have to make a statement and take 3 out of 4.
100%. Yeah, Serdar, I agree with you.
Sir, the phone number is 484-2579.
We want to hear
Guys, you're all chiming in. Take your chances. Yo, boys, what's going on? Pat and Sir back at the Mets setting up the rotation for the Yankees. Okay. Oh, were they playing the Yankees next series? Okay. All right. Did they just have a Subway Series?
They did. Well, it's the Yankees Mets. It's money. It's
I'm sure.
Huge money. So
who cares?
I'll be in Brooklyn actually next weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know why that actually has no bearing to do with anything you're talking about.
Why are you there? Spit on the ground.
Yeah, no, I got a 1-day MLB umpire camp.
That's cool.
In Brooklyn next week. Yeah. So the pathway to the MLB as an umpire starts with a selection camp, and then it's a 1-day thing, and then from there they move you on to a developmental camp.
So you're telling me there'll be one day that I'm going
to be.
I'm going to be sitting there going, God damn that Matty B! He cost us the game with that call.
We'll see. I umpire in the summer, and then I also ref hockey in the winter. So
So if you get this certification, does that mean you can like not just MLB games? Like, does that?
Umping is, it's all by state and level and league. They all have their own certification programs to do. If you go to like one of the umpiring schools they have in the country that are like a month long, like Harvey Wendelstedt has a school in Florida that he does every winter, and you come out of there with a diploma, it goes a long way in the NCAA hiring you. It goes a long way into other leagues hiring you. But once you get hired on, they certify you internally, with their stuff. So,
DeGrom is the GOAT.
Yeah.
All right. Relax. Yeah.
I don't know. He didn't pitch that well against the Braves the other night. DeGrom looked hittable against the Braves.
I mean, as a Mets fan, I'll ask this to Surter and Daniel and any other Mets fan who happens to jump on our feed here. With the injury history of DeGrom, can you call him a GOAT? Yes, the man has the
GOAT-like ability.
Yeah, and like the guy who averages 99 miles per hour, you can't, and he starts, that's something you can't. But the guy, he's always on a pitch count. He's injured a lot. He misses big portions of seasons.
That's the bottom line.
Can you? Yes. That's you talk about starting rotation. And Daniel said himself, like, you guys, like, of course you feel that way because how many times, like, you at any moment in time now, you could be sitting, you guys could be on cloud 9 right now, and you guys had no Scherzer and no DeGrom for a while this season, and like we have had no Harper and Gene Segura, we've been able to survive and even thrive at points, but come to the playoffs, you're not going to have that luxury, and that can happen anytime. As they get later in the season, he's going to his pitch count, his mileage starts to ramp up.
So again, does he have GOAT-like ability? He does, but he has not shown. He's got to be able to stay in the game. He's got to be able to pitch. He's got to be able to get through these injuries or not sustain these injuries. And when you mentioned it, the Mets have not won a damn thing right now, nor the Phillies have lost a damn thing. Mm-hmm. It's all about October. So we can sit here and you pump out your chest all you want, and you deserve it. The Mets right now are spanking the Phillies' ass. They are. The Mets control the Phillies. They're dominating them.
But that doesn't win you the World Series.
It doesn't. And that's what we got to, I think as Philly fans, we got to take stock in that. But, I've said this, and I know Joe Marks has said this, that, we believe that the Phillies are going to win the NL East. I still believe that, but I don't know where I'm going to stand on that on Monday. I really don't know how this thing is going to play out, but they haven't won anything. So, but I'm very concerned about the Phillies' inability to score runs other than home runs. I'm very concerned about.
Regular season success doesn't translate to postseason
Yep.
Look at us in 10 and 11. We were better
Yep.
than San Francisco and St. Louis. I mean, yeah. Look at the Nationals, who are just bottom
19, yeah.
dwellers. And it was only a few years ago that they were
The
World
Braves
Series
last
champs.
year.
Braves last year. I mean,
They weren't a better team than the Dodgers. They were not.
no, you get hot, and and that's the thing is, but like you also can't sit there and cross your fingers that you're going to get hot. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just I think kind of where we're going full circle back around to the beginning of the show a little bit is that you want to just get the monkey off your back in the situation with the Mets. Like you just want to beat the Mets. And I know that, like you said, that doesn't translate to championships all the time. But in our head is like you said, there's a good chance that to go to the World Series, you have to travel through Queens to get there.
Yep.
And I get that. And we gotta and that's the thing is if you beat the Dodgers, I mean, if you think about it, you beat all the good teams. You have winning records against I think all of them, right?
Yeah, I
The
mean,
Dodgers, the Cardinals,
Brewers,
the Brewers,
Padres.
the Padres. We have all the
only two that are out there. We don't have it against the Mets, and we're tied with the Braves 6-6.
Yeah.
So they're the only two teams that we haven't.
and I think that's that last checkbox I'm waiting to check off on
NL
my on my like are the Phillies like that 2008 to 2011 worthy of my love right now and it's like getting there but it's just not there yet. The eye test will tell you the Mets are built for the playoffs.
How do you know that? I test my ass.
They are built for a short series, dominant starting, solid defense, shutdown closer, clutch hitting. First part, yes, Diaz has been a very good closer this year. I'm not going to take that away from him. But there's been plenty of times he's been shellacked by us. I don't want to hear that.
So last year when Acuna went down for the season with
3 MVP
ACL.
candidates, I will go with you got the Lindor, the Alonso, and who else am I forgetting?
Vogelback.
Yeah. And he reminds me of John Kruk so much. It's not even funny. Just his mannerisms up there.
How can he hit? How does he have the bat speed?
Well, it's like what's a Sandovar. Remember when he was like that?
Yeah.
He lost weight and he couldn't. He sucked. He sucked. It's like he was so used to it. Listen, sir. Nobody is denying the fact that they are built for the playoffs. I can say they're built for the playoffs.
Yeah, but last year when Acuna went down, no one's going to say the Braves are built for the playoffs and the Braves won the World Series. So don't give me the eye test. All right. Right now they're a dominant team. No one's taking that away from them. We haven't gotten to the playoffs yet. You don't know what the Mets are capable of. You don't know what any of these teams are capable of. You can't say that. You can say they've done enough to get to the playoffs, and the Mets have, yes, and they are. They're probably going to win the division. But to say that they're built for the playoffs, it's ridiculous. You don't know that.
Well, listen, any team could and like I said, a couple guys on this here have proven the fact with Phillies, contention. We should have won in 2010. 2009, we just kind of
we should have won 9, 10, and 11.
Well, no. I mean, listen. In all honesty, let's look at the 11. We had like 100
best record in baseball,
12 wins or whatever.
There was no team more dominant in baseball than the Phillies in 11,
and then we fell apart.
Fell apart in the second round.
Yeah, I mean, things can happen, and so don't sit. Listen. Count your chickens and your eggs. Enjoy it, man.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying because I would be feeling the same way if I was you right now. I would be pounding my chest.
And I was feeling that way in 11.
If this was vice versa, let's be honest. Let's say the Phillies were the Mets position, the Mets were in the Phillies position. I'd be sitting there. I'd be laughing at you, Serter and
Mets.
Daniel.
Yes.
I don't blame you guys. I don't blame you guys at all for pounding your chest at all, but. Don't always, but also one thing I've learned from the mid 2010 to 2015 is that it's not a foregone guarantee even if when you're dominating in the regular season. Cy Young candidate.
No,
I don't think so.
They won't give it to another reliever ever again.
No,
not in this day and age. No.
On the right side, you guys still have the Flyers. All right, now you're just being a dick, Daniel. You guys made me cry in 2009, sir. We talked about this. You're not allowed to root for us.
No.
I don't
I
know
would
though.
never root
Do
for
the
the
Mets hate Yankees more than Phillies?
Absolutely, yeah, because it's the Giants, Jets, Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx.
So I was going to say, so
yes.
Yankees Phillies World Series is like they're like, it's like, you know, do I want to get shot in the foot or stabbed in the chest?
Because it doesn't matter. The Yankees suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh geez. Dodgers always threat come playoff time. Yeah, you know what? Tell me that in 2007 to 2011. I didn't feel that way, but all right.
To the Phillies.
Mets are the best team now. I'd be concerned maybe they peaked too early though. That's kind of where I'm going, Joe. Like I'm not saying like they peaked too early. They are definitely rolling right now. They're rolling through the season.
Rolling all season.
You know, technically, since the All-Star break, we have a better record than them.
Yep.
It's just, you know, they had such a build-up going into it that they had room for error.
And they handled their business against the Phillies head-to-head and the Braves head-to-head.
They took advantage of bad teams. The Braves weren't playing well. We weren't playing well. You had the Marlins weren't playing well. The Nationals weren't playing well. They were very dominant. In the beginning of the season, the National League East, which we all thought was going to be a very dominant division, looked like crap, except for the Mets. The Mets had what we're dealing with now in the beginning of the season. It was very timely. So, yes, they have the Yankees coming up. They have more Braves games coming up. They have Houston coming up, which I know we do as well. But, I mean, it's just listen, enjoy it. And I always say enjoy the moment. I'm telling you, enjoy your moment right now. But just don't go get your tattoo for your 2022 World Series champion Mets, okay? Just yet.
I don't know where their parade.
Daniels, I hate the Braves, Yankees, Phillies, all the same. It's fans that make me hate them more. Okay, all right. I mean, I can
understand that totally.
I could probably turn that around and say the same thing about the same. If I took the Phillies out and put the Mets in there, and I can tell you, there's plenty of Phillies fans I don't like. Many of them are from New Jersey. But my point is, I get that. And you know what, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to leave the line open a little bit longer because we're going to get done here in a few. 484-257-9592. The number again is 484-257-9592. And this is for the Mets fans, Phillies fans, anybody wants to chat, as long as you keep it PG. My point is, I mean, so Daniel, like, because Surter here earlier said to us before that he was rooting for the Phillies when we were in 2009 when we were playing the Yankees. Is that a no-no? Because in my eyes, that's a no-no.
It's a huge no-no. But it's the Yankees overshadow the Phillies.
Yeah, like if the Mets are playing, I don't know. If the Mets are playing anybody, I want the Mets to lose.
If the Mets are playing the Cowboys,
can there be a fire? No. I'm just trying to think. Wow. That is a tough one. I did say fan base wise, if I go in order from ones I can't stand, my top three from 3, 2, 1. Number 3 is Mets. And it's a close 3-2. Cowboys is number 2. And believe it or not, fan base wise, Penguins fan.
What fan base travels better than Mets or Eagles?
Mets or Eagles? Well, I mean,
40% of the people at the bank last night were Mets.
Yeah, but that's also drive. That's a 2-hour drive. I mean, that's an easy drive. I mean, the Eagles, we take over Giant Stadium. We go to. We're gonna.
I'm saying. Who travels?
Listen, we completely forgot to do this, but hey, let's throw it out there. We're gonna be 1,000 people deep in Washington when we take on the Commanders, September 25th for a lower level ticket.
Thank you for the segue.
Bus, food, drink, entertainment. PhillySportsTrips.com. $325. You can't beat that price just for the ticket and food alone. That's cheap. You add in the drink and the entertainment and all that stuff and the bus. Forget about it. And you know what? If you get in trouble at a game or something, David R. Cherry's your man. 610-565-0300. SherryInjuryLaw.com. Get injured at work. Get injured in a car accident. Personal injury. Criminal law. He is your guy. David R. Cherry Injury Firm, SherryInjuryLaw.com, 610-565-0300. And guys, just in case you're missing it, it just keeps getting better and better. Here is the total Edge of Philly / Painted Lines lineup.
We made this prettier, man. That's too much to read.
It's like I gotta figure out a way of like, how do I fit all this into one card? Like, if we get any more
logos,
like even then, it's hard. It's not easy. So yeah, I mean, this is what's going on in the world of EOP, and enjoy it. Second here.
Stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of good stuff, guys.
So honestly, Eagles or Mets? Who's the better? Who's travel? Because I'm telling you,
Eagles. That's got to be the Eagles. I mean, we travel to LA. I don't see the Mets going to the Dodgers games. I just don't. I don't see it. I really like. I would love. I mean, I would maybe if we talk to NewYorkSportsTrips.com and see what they say with how they sell and
or
how
Edge of New York,
yeah.
sports.
pushing over the edge of New York. My point is, I would have to. It's easy for me to go to a Washington game or New York game, but if you ask me, Eagles Dallas, a lot of Eagles at those Dallas games.
Oh yeah.
If the Mets are playing the Braves, how many Mets fans are in Atlanta?
I don't know. I mean, that's a good question.
I don't watch many Mets Braves
How
games
many
unless I'm
Phillies
just
fans are in Atlanta though? Too. I mean,
a fair amount of times.
Yeah.
I've gone a lot. I've gone on a whim. Yeah, I'll tell you one time. I missed this. This was a little when Southwest Airlines like first came out, man. What a treat for sports fans like us it was. Like I'm a young guy, no family, nothing tying me down. I can do what I want when I want. And I had,
$40 red eyes to like Seattle.
yeah, like no, I wouldn't go there, but like you could get you can get a flight to Pittsburgh for like $80.
Really? Round trip.
You no one way, but still, I mean, for a cheap ticket and round trip, I can pay that to sit in 200 level, you know, at the Phillies game right now. You know, that's the key stat. I mean, that's the key thing there, and I loved it because go to Atlanta. I get to Atlanta for $100. I can get to Pittsburgh for under $100. I can go to Chicago for $120. So I did a lot of traveling. I went to a lot of games, and this was like pre like good smartphones, like I had flip phones you could take pictures with and all that. I literally like my buddy like, yeah, Phillies are playing the Pirates this weekend. You want to go out? All right. Like, let's go pack a school bag. That's all we need.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Man.
Put a jersey on. Like, you can't do that anymore. That sucks because that's so much fun. Let's see what Daniel's saying. I live in California. Mets fans travel well in LA. There's a lot of Phillies fans when they play the Padres. I mean, listen, I'm not saying you guys one versus the other. I can't say I don't watch Mets games.
No, either do I. And my point was this: it's just, I forgot my point. We were talking.
Joe, you're absolutely correct.
They would.
Yeah,
they
would.
They would.
What's up, man? The little fan base go anywhere or everywhere. Absolutely.
So a little programming note for those of you who are interested. Tonight, the Phightins final will be live and direct from Citizen Bank Park. I will be in attendance for Game 2 of the doubleheader. I was going to go to both games, but we decided not to do that. But so tonight,
it's a long day. That's like something you do with you and your buddies.
Yeah,
you don't do that with the wife and kids or anything like that. Because like I even said it to my wife. I said, "We can go to the doubleheader if you want to." She's like, "Yeah, no, I'm not bringing them down there for 10 hours
and 110 degrees."
Yeah, no. Yeah. And she didn't want to be on it. You really should pay more attention to who's ahead of you.
I know exactly who's ahead of us.
Yeah, we have the Reds.
Mets.
Oh, the Mets. That's what I'm saying. I don't. He's saying ahead of us. That's what I'm thinking. I don't understand.
There's one team ahead of us.
In my opinion, Packers fans travel the best. Okay, I mean, I would love to see how that works. Like, how would you calculate that? I mean, you have to go to like stadiums and ask people who
count gear.
Yeah, gear. Like you have to sit there. The picture. There's one green jersey.
Yeah,
and when you got a team like the Packers and the Eagles have like the same, like they sit there trying to figure out. Like,
so another plug is Phillies sports trips. I don't know any other fan base that's flying their fans everywhere around the country to all 17 or whatever 9 games, road games. I don't know any other of those organizations out there. Maybe I'm wrong, but
could be. New York sports trip tours.
Are they offering everything to every jet? Well, then again, New York is regional. It's one side's Jets, one side's Giants. So I don't know.
See, this is like going to them. This isn't going to games.
So I'm saying not road games, home games, right?
It seems to be home games. Yeah. Like, and listen, I did a 10-second Google search. But yeah, I mean, I would be interested to know if they have a website, because if not, we might have to call Vince and start a little branching out, if you know what I mean.
That's right.
But yeah, listen, man, Packers fans, I don't know. Do you feel like they travel well?
It's in Minnesota and Chicago, yes. Other than that, no.
I was going to say, like, I don't feel like I see.
I don't see him taking over the link.
Here's one thing. Sorry about that being on there. Here's one thing. I mean, is it a Packers fan who lives in Philadelphia at a Packers Eagles game, or
We have one of those that go to Eagle Cowboy games here. So yeah,
yeah?
it's a different.
Oh, dude, I
breed.
love I love the Cowboys fans who go to a Eagles Vikings game.
Yeah.
Why are you wearing your jersey to my game? You should be wearing the jersey, period. Let alone, whatever. But we're getting off the topic here. So, guys, I want to thank you for joining us.
Yes. Awesome show. So one more time, 484-2057-9592 before we go off the air.
Yeah, we'll give you another couple minutes.
Yeah.
But like I said, check out phillysportstrips.com as well as cherryinjurylaw.com for all your legal needs. And today, I know the lineup. Let me just give you guys a little heads up. So for the Phightins finals, it will either be late tonight for both games. You're not going to do one for each game.
Yeah, both games.
As well as one for tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay. And don't forget that tonight is a special 4:00 version of the All Lacrosse All the Time for you lacrosse lovers. They talk, Wings and Philly lacrosse, but our New York friends out there, if you're lacrosse fans or looking to be lacrosse fans, they cover lacrosse from all over the country and into Canada and so on, and all the different leagues. So you have everything you need and more. So you got that in the Phightins final still to go tonight, and you had Patterson Ave earlier. The guys were on earlier. The after we get done here, the podcast will be up, and then tomorrow, Denver Sports at 9 a.m. Eagles pre and post game, and then of course the Phightins final post.
The Phightins final will have to kind of fit around the Eagles post game, so just be fluid.
Well, here's the thing: Eagles are at 1, Phillies are at 1:35. I think they'll be all right because if it's a 3-hour game, it's still 4:35. So the Eagles should be getting done by 4.
Yeah.
So you should be just pretty much piggybacking each other. It should work out that way. Other than that, I guess we'll get going then.
Yeah, it was great. Again, awesome studio. Awesome. Glad to be here. Glad to checking out the new digs. I feel like I'm like literally the last one to come in studio.
No, far from it, bro.
Oh, okay, good.
Far
Good.
from
I
it.
was feeling bad about myself.
No, we're gonna try to do something in maybe in October, early November, where on a Sunday take over the parking lot here and put a screen up and watch the game and kind of get us and as many of the Painted Lines guys in here together as one at one point. That's why I want to take the outside because there's not going to be enough room inside for everybody. Well, yeah, put the games on in here, put the big screen on out there, all different ideas. So yeah, we have some things coming up, and check us out. Take us on out.
Yeah. So today again, we got Zach Wheeler going in the game 1 and Bailey Falter. I'm not certain. The Mets were kind of back and forth on their starters for today. Al, do you know if it's up? Can you pull that up? See if the Mets starters are up. I don't have a computer.
Hold on 1 second.
And the growing conspiracy about why Noah Syndergaard is not pitching against the Mets. So whatever you might think,
put that in my brain. Thanks a lot, bro.
Hey, it's it's bothering me too.
So why is? Oh, hold on 1 second. I have the wrong website. Too many screens, not enough time. Williams.
So Williams is at the 1:00 game.
Yes, Trevor Williams is going up against Wheeler.
Okay.
Let me go back and switch to game 2. Then it's Peterson. David Peterson is going up against Bailey Falter.
All right, so we got a straight bullpen game on game 2 tonight. So, hey, we still got a shot. Got to get this offense back on track. Got to figure something out. Got to be able to play all fields. Hey, got to get runners in. We got to stop leaving. It's frustrating when you get runners on first and second with 1 out. The next batter strikes out. Somebody else lines out. So I'm still keeping the faith. The Phillies, I think, will still win this division, but we got to figure it out like now.
So, yeah, well, that's the thing is like you need to take you need to try to take at least 2 of these 4 games.
They got to win.
Yeah.
Got to keep the Mets somewhat in close sight. I know 11 games is not close, but
yeah,
it could be.
And listen, I always tell them like I know you don't want to be compared, but look at your other city's team there, the Yankees. They started off super hot too, and they've definitely cooled off.
8-22 since the All-Star.
Wow, that's a much bigger dive than I doubt the Mets will take. But hey, Daniel's saying, laugh out loud. The Phillies aren't winning this division.
We'll see, man.
All right. Well, we'll see. All
Got like 6
right,
weeks left.
guys. We'll be heading out. I'm Big Al.
I'm Matty B. Go Phils.